welcome to our sticky situation.
Hey!
I think that's enough of that.
Okay. Welcome to
Welcome to
A Pair of Kings
and
the Occasional Idiot.
Funny thing is, we still haven't had one yet. And
We haven't had an occasional idiot. Well, we definitely have it now.
not now, because we did record one back in March maybe.
Yeah.
We had an occasional idiot, but the audio was bad, and then it obviously was around that time where all the shit hit the fan for the world.
The shit had hit the fan, I would say.
Yeah, the shit hit the fan for the world. So
we haven't
that
recorded one of these since then, like March.
Yeah, the last time we recorded a podcast was in March. I think it was posted in April, but we recorded it before shit got real.
Yeah, yeah. I hope everyone's enjoyed our gaming videos, though. That's the big takeaway here.
Yeah, that is a big takeaway. We've been busy with that. Been having a lot of fun doing those. I don't know when this is gonna go up, but we've
Probably a year from now.
yeah.
We're recording this on August 3rd, so
Yeah, we're recording this on August 3rd
of 2020.
2020. In case
The worst year of our lives,
I
I would say.
of anyone's lives
Of
right
anyone's
now.
life.
But yeah, and part of the problem with that is that, I mean, we'll see when we start talking, but I don't feel like we have a lot to talk about because we haven't done a whole lot.
Yeah,
because we haven't
we've been trapped inside.
we haven't really been able to do a whole lot.
We have been drinking though.
If this is more empty, if this is more empty, I would squeeze it. But if I did that now, I would choke to death.
I don't know why you do that.
I don't know either. I just do that.
Whenever Cutter drinks, he squeezes the bottle. I guess he's scared he won't get enough water, so he squeezes.
Well,
the
because
bottle.
when you drink water, do you put your lips around the whole cap, or just put half?
Why would
the
I
cap?
put my lips around the whole cap?
That's what I do.
Why do you? What?
That's what I do. Have you
The fuck?
you not noticed that?
No.
Yeah, I drink it like this.
Ew! What the? Are you a fucking fish?
Is that fucking weird?
That's weird.
Does no one else fucking do that?
Do this.
I don't feel secure doing that.
I guess I can see where you're coming from.
I don't feel like I'm in control whenever.
You're not in control.
I don't feel like I don't feel like I have full control of the water bottle.
Dude,
when I'm like
none
that.
of us are in control.
I don't want to get that deep about it. I'm just talking about Aquafina right now.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, I don't do that. I just do.
The half flip on the bottle.
Mm-mm.
Like
Mm-mm.
your lips.
Oh my God, no.
The way your lips were shaped was wrong. You were like.
Well, that's not what you did.
No, I'm probably gonna do it. It's gonna be the same fucking thing. It feels different when I do it. Jesus Christ. Fuck, I almost
Literally, I think it's because I'm used to doing it the other way. Like when I first tried that, too much water went in, and I was like, oh. Yeah, no, you're weird.
I mean, we already
No,
know
you're
that.
not.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean you are.
yeah, I mean, I can't deny facts. I can't-
You literally legit look like a fish when you do that though. It's kind of funny.
That's funny. You've never noticed that.
No, I've never noticed that.
It's only with water bottles because obviously I can't do that with a can.
You put your whole mouth around the top of the can.
Around the whole fucking can. Because the hole's this big, and then the whole can is so much
bigger. Put your whole
bigger.
mouth on over the top of your LaCroix.
Oh God, that would be something.
I don't know if I'm pretty sure by the time this podcast comes out, at least the first episode of Undertale will be out.
Most likely.
Okay, so we recorded Undertale.
Yeah, we
Which you recommended doing that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea what the game would be, or what it was.
Yeah, and neither of us had played it before. I had a little bit of an idea, but it's still like exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, it was. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And we've only recorded like one session of us playing
yeah,
it so far.
it was a long session though. It was a 3-hour session.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
that'll be a good amount of
and
episodes.
I've been sitting on that for like a month, I think, because like I haven't had any motivation to like edit anything.
Yeah.
So
Should we get into why that is?
huh?
Should we get into why that is?
Why is that?
The You told me it was because of USC.
Oh, oh yeah. Well, yeah. So
You don't have to say the college if you don't want to.
no USC. I mean, fuck them. So obviously we are going to college.
Mhm.
Like in I think 2 or 3 weeks we'll be off to college.
Yeah, about
Probably more 2 weeks.
probably 2 weeks or less for most people.
Yeah.
Yours is a little different though. But
Yeah. Um. And granted, everything I've had to do to register to go to USC, we've kind of put off until the last minute, I think.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. It's just we kept forgetting to do shit for USC and whatever. But at the same time, it's like I'm doing everything now, and it's like it's so complicated, and I don't think it doesn't help that USC's all of their websites are so complicated to navigate through, and like
Yeah.
plus they don't really communicate that well to the students. I'm pretty sure that's most colleges though.
That's most colleges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I've had this problem with registering for like this orientation thing where I figure out what classes I get and everything, and I have to register for like a certain date, and then I'll go to select a date, but no dates appear. And then at the top of the page it says, if no dates appear, contact us at this email. So I emailed them like 3 days ago, and they still haven't responded. And with something that important, I would think that would be like they would be on top of that if somebody has a problem with
Yeah. Especially with
Um,
how close it is.
Yeah. Plus I still have to do like this math placement exam and like foreign
The
language
fuck?
placement exam. Yeah,
Okay,
it's like
okay, alright.
mandatory,
Okay.
which it's whatever. I mean, I don't know. I literally just came from high school. I don't know why they have to do a math and foreign language placement exam.
Yeah, I don't know, because they should be able to see it on your record. For
Yeah,
one thing.
I
Like,
But yeah, it's just been really difficult with USC, and so like I said, granted, we did wait until the last minute to do most of it, so part of it's on us, but at the same time, I don't know.
you would think a college that you're paying money to go to will be interested in.
Oh, that too. Oh my god, dude. USC has a fee for fucking everything. Like if I would have known how much we've had to pay just to register to go, like not even like the total fee for like the semester or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous how much like I have to pay.
Yeah, no, because I've like been there a lot of times. Like when I come to your house and you and your mom are like talking about like, are you all like worrying about something? And I'm like, God damn, that's a lot of money.
No,
or whatever
it is a lot of money. It's a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, and I was actually the other day when we went to that, like a get together thing. I was talking to one of our friends, Mackenzie, and I don't know, you might not know this because I know you're staying at an apartment at USC.
Yeah.
But Mackenzie is staying at a dorm. And you know how like colleges like you can like bring like your like a mini fridge or microwave or something.
Yeah, yeah.
From what she told me, USC is like you can't bring your own refrigerator. You have to pay them like, I think she said $250 a semester for a fridge.
Oh my.
For a mini fridge.
Wow. Yeah.
They won't let you take your own.
Yeah.
Which that seems fucking ridiculous to me.
So I got like one of the apartments at I think the place is called Union or whatever. But it's like the actual apartment is like an apartment, like it has a rent, like monthly rent.
Yeah.
I think it's $1,000, but I have a roommate, so we split that, so it's like $500 a month or something.
And that's not bad from everything.
And well, it comes with like it comes with a washer, dryer, a fridge, a microwave. There's a whole kitchen. It comes with Wi-Fi. Like, it, it's worth that is worth that cost.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
only thing. But Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't, oh man, they charge for everything.
that's what it seems like from everything you've told me.
Yeah.
And you told me they charged for like the fucking digital orientation, which I couldn't believe.
Yeah, like the
I could I
orientation, and it's like $130
I couldn't believe
for the
that.
orientation.
That's
And we can't even pay it because I haven't selected a date. But guess what? No dates appear when I go to the site. So
yeah, it's all fucked, dude.
I know. I know the date. I know the actual digital orientation is August 14th.
Yeah.
But that's not appearing on the page when I go to it. So does that mean I'm like automatically? No, that doesn't. No, because I can't.
If they
It's. I don't even want to get into it.
if they would get back to you, you probably know the answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any like crazy stories about that yet about like all the online stuff for Coastal. I'm going to CCU.
Yeah. I honestly
but,
would have gone to Coastal, but it didn't have anything like what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I feel like and
You're undecided right now, though.
yeah, I'm undecided right now, so I don't know, but I have a feeling because if you live in the South, and just I think they're well known across the whole country, but mostly in the South. Obviously, everybody knows there. A lot of people in the South are either obsessed with USC or Clemson.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people down here are. I have a prediction that Coastal Carolina at Myrtle Beach is going to be the next like USC or Clemson.
Mm.
One day, I don't know when. One day, I think they're going to be as big as one of those colleges because
It's a very popular school.
oh yeah, it
It's
is.
a lot newer too. So I think
It's so recent. It's not even 100 years old yet.
yeah.
It was founded in 1954.
Mm. Damn.
So it's very it's
That's not
it's
old at all.
Not old at all. That's
Well, for a college. That's not
yeah,
old.
and that's why I'm sure that's why they don't have like they didn't have anything you wanted there because it's so
Yeah.
new.
I'm going for like film.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love to record stuff. Doing this channel. I edit for this channel. I love to edit. And yeah, so USC has a basic like film and media studies, I think. But actually, Clemson had like a really fucking good like film program.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they
Like
do. Yeah.
we sat down and read what Clemson had, and it was insane what they had to offer for
Oh, yeah.
film students. But like the chances of me getting into Clemson are very slim. So I could have at least applied, but I think for the first year or two, I kind of want to go to USC because I don't know. But
See
like
what all the hype's about.
yeah, I guess. But like after that, after a year or two, I'll probably transfer somewhere else.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
that's my plan, to transfer somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, you could have totally gotten into Clemson. I got accepted there to their bridge program, which is basically the same thing as Clemson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The- But no, if you had let's say that you had gotten accepted to Clemson and you decided to go there,
Mhm.
your whole family would, except for the Paulsons, your whole family would have like a aneurysm. Like they would like
Yeah, I guess you could say that. No, I mean
'Cause- 'cause a lot of your family are USC fans.
yeah, my mom and dad, they both, well, they're USC. They're not that big of a
Mhm.
they're not, but they are USC fans. And my dad especially, and I mean, they both told me like, if you wanted to go to Clemson, we're so supportive and down for that.
Yeah, yeah.
They would just never come to visit. No, I'm joking. Yeah, and my my cousin Hunter, who we mentioned in the Splatoon video,
Mm.
yeah, they're diehard Clemson fans. So
Yeah.
I think my aunt was like, I think my mom told my aunt that I was thinking about maybe going to Clemson, and she had a trip.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
she
Oh,
loved that.
I'm sure.
She
yeah.
loved that. But like I'm not one to go to a school just for the what the school is or the team or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just gonna state right here that if you go to a college because of that, I think you're stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
I know several people that are doing that.
yeah,
And I think it's ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. That's Mm.
'Cause when you're spending that much money for an education, like
Yeah. And it's like the big thing with USC is like the football games and the basketball games, and
yeah.
it's like,
And when you go there, oh, you can tell because I probably might get in trouble for saying this, but when you go there, you can tell because the football stadiums and just the sporting arenas are nice as shit. Everywhere else is fucking terrible, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah.
That's just my opinion because I went there and
Their main priority is the sports, and that's very blatantly obvious.
yeah.
Um, so like, it's all about like going to the games and whatever, and like I don't plan to go to the games. I mean, I might go to one or two,
Yeah, I mean, you might have like a
but
group of friends that are like, "Come on," you're like,
yeah, if I
"Okay,
have a group of
okay,
friends
yeah,
that are like, "Hey, come to the game," it's like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll go to the game. But
yeah,
like, I will never go out of my way to go to one of the games.
yeah."
Maybe basketball, because I prefer basketball over football.
Mm.
And watching the basketball might be cool, but like, it's not even basketball. It's all about the football. The college football.
Yeah, all about the college football.
Yeah,
Yeah,
football.
if you can't tell, me and Trey are not huge football guys or just sports guys
We're
in
not
general.
sports. We're not big sports people.
Yeah,
Uh, and that kind of sucks when you grow up in South Carolina where there's, you know,
it's so in your
everyone
face.
is yes, yeah. That's such a great way to describe it. It's all just in your face. Like whenever you go to like a friend's house, most of the time their parents are watching sports or the football or
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, going to a friend's house during football season, like the dad sitting in the chair and like yelling at the screen. That's my dad. That's my dad.
yeah, yeah. No, no. My mom and dad are they're like that. They're like that with professional football. Like I think well, my dad's team is like Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
And I've sat with them and watched a few games, Green Bay games, and they're fun to watch. I mean, but yeah, it's not really. I don't know.
Yeah, and dude, the funny thing is, and this kind of like definitely proves what I said, but it was like several months ago. It was sometime in 2019. I wanted might have been in like early 2020. I don't know. It was before like COVID. Um, my dad and I went to a football game at Coastal Carolina, and objectively speaking, and from like everything my dad said, my dad's been to a lot of football games, and he said that was like one of the best football games he's ever been to.
Hmm.
And I can say objectively, it would, especially at the end, it was really like close, and it was like a really good game. But if I'm being like 100% honest, like the whole time I was not really entertained like much at all. The ending was entertaining because the ending was like really close, and it was really cool to see the ending. But it wasn't worth it because I wasn't.
What about that guy behind you?
Oh, dude, there's this video of I took a video of this guy that was behind me, and he was probably in like his like 30s or 40s, I'm gonna guess, and he was like standing on the bleachers, and his feet just like this. He was like, yeah, yeah, and it was funny as shit.
You're gonna have to send me that video now so I can put it in.
I'll have to find it. Remind me after this to look for it. So
Okay.
we can put that in. Because it's like, dude, it's so funny. Because like when you go to like especially sports or not, especially football, like it brings out a whole nother side in people. It brings out
It
like
does.
it brings out like a side that you've never seen before in someone.
Yeah, it
if
does.
they're into it, of course.
Mhm. Now, in high school, me and Carter were both in marching bands, so going to the games as the marching band and like playing music for the team, that was fucking fun. Because
That
like we
was
were
fun as
actually
shit.
up there like fucking, doing something.
Yeah.
We were participating along. That's how I always saw it. Like we were like participating with the team in a way. Like
Oh yeah, and a lot of the music like they would get pumped up for it. And,
yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely, yeah.
yeah, and it was really cool for me just because I was in a very unique situation in marching band.
Yeah, because you played guitar. And
Yeah.
not many marching bands have a guitar.
Yeah, and let alone I played electric guitar in the stands like
Yeah.
at football games. So I would just like play like Metallica, AC/DC, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Um, and sometimes I would look up. It was cool to see like this, like some of the guys were just like looking back and
Yeah.
like doing their hands or like moving their hands something. It was really cool. I had a lot of fun playing guitar and marching band and just everything in general. I had a lot of fun
Mm.
with it. But even before that, because I only did marching band for the last 2 years of high school, and the first 2 years I went to the football games just as like a student.
Yeah.
God, yeah, I remember. It was fun, but I remember most of the time I didn't really pay attention to the game much because what made it was just being there with my friends.
Yeah, yeah. That's why, like I said earlier, like if a group if I you know if a group of friends like asks me in college, like, hey, you want to go to a game? Like, hell yeah, definitely.
It exactly, yeah. Like I wouldn't go to one just by myself to watch the game because
Yeah,
I know I won't be entertained by the game. That's just me though.
yeah.
Um,
No, yeah, that's kind of the same with marching band because you're not only are you playing music, but you're playing music with your friends.
yeah, and it's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's so fucking awesome.
Dude, I did marching band for 5 fucking years, dude.
It's a long time.
That's crazy to think about. I started in 8th grade and went all through high school. That's insane to think about.
That's really awesome. I wish I had done it longer than just 2
Yeah,
years.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And technically, it is not a sport. But anyways,
I agree with that.
I hate how like most people in marching band are like, it's a sport. We work just as hard as football. But like, if you look at the technical qualifications for it to be called a sport, it's not a sport.
It's not.
It's literally
And-
not.
And I'm not.
I will not deny that it is extremely hard work and what you have to put into it. It's sometimes mentally and physically draining. Like it's a lot. Like
I think that's the point they're trying to make.
yeah, but like that doesn't make something a sport.
No, it does. It doesn't.
You know.
I agree with that it can take a lot of physical and mental exertion
Oh god,
out
yeah,
of you.
definitely. Like
Is-
especially when we had like the 2.5 hour practices after school, just standing there in the heat. Well, we stood there,
Yeah,
but like
because we were in percussion or the pit.
yeah, we were in the pit. My first year, I marched like a bass drum because we had enough people for that. But
Yeah.
after that, it just got to a point where we didn't have enough percussionists to do a drum line and a pit, so we just stayed in the pit. God, the year my second year, we only had 4 percussionists.
That's
That's it.
that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
especially
that was
since-
my favorite year though. That was the best year.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That was the best year because I don't know. It was just the music, everyone's vibe. It was just that year was my second year was perfect. It was honestly great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a lot, especially the people who are actually marching. Like,
Oh yeah, and like, or you can go on. You want?
oh no, I'm done.
Okay. Oh well, and like I kind of get it, but like not to the point that I saw. But and that's kind of why like a lot of people that marched would get like mad at percussion for like anything because we didn't march obviously.
Oh God.
Like
Anything we.
it was like anything we did like we got attacked.
Yeah, we
almost.
got attacked because I guess they were jealous that we had to stand there or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess I could see that, but like, I don't know. We were. It's not like we wanted to do that. I mean,
Yeah, and I mean
it's how it was.
and it was kind of funny because a lot of times there's band camp, which is like in like mid to late July
Mhm.
until school starts, and sometime in August, probably like late July to August, we have band camp before school starts, just to kind of get ready for like the music and practice and all that. And for most of band camp, the pit would stay inside and practice,
Yeah.
and everybody else went outside,
Yeah.
and everybody got upset about that, which again I can kind of see.
I can understand that,
I can kind of see, but
especially
then,
when most of the time we goofed around and didn't.
yeah.
Well, that's because all we had to do was learn music, and once we learned the music, it was like
Because we had a much lighter load than the people that marched. Because we had to because we didn't have to learn how to march. We just had to learn the music.
Yeah.
But
my first year band camp, because I marched the biggest bass,
Oh,
biggest bass
God.
drum my first year, and that was something else.
oh, I'm sure
That
dude.
was something else. But what I learned from that year, and yeah, it was a fun year.
Oh yeah,
I hated the music though. Our first year we did Les Mis.
I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah,
See,
that's like my least favorite year.
yeah, cause see, I only did it for 2 years, like I said, but and honestly, I got fucking annoyed. I've got fucking annoyed with it because it was like anytime anybody said anything about the music we were currently playing, there was someone would say, "Oh, that's no Pandora's Box,"
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like I understand that it was a great show, and obviously I wasn't
That's
there.
my second year actually.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously I know that was a great year for everybody that was in there, but goddamn, can you shut the fuck up about it? Like that's what I felt about because
Yeah.
I kept hearing about it like almost every day, like Pandora's Box this, Pandora's Box that. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's like we were both a part of marching band, and we both love marching band and everything. But like, there are those annoying ass marching band people like that are just like so into marching band that it's like it's their life. And like, if anybody says anything bad about it, like it's not a sport, then they'll attack them.
Like a junkyard dog.
Yeah, like a fucking guard dog at a fucking trash place, you know.
Trash place. Like, you almost sound like you turned into Danny DeVito over there. I'm the trash man.
I'm the trash man. Would you like an egg in this trying time? But yeah, we loved March. I don't even know what the point of that story was, but
I don't know. I do want to mention one more thing about it is that it's kind of funny because like I was saying, when we were inside, they would be upset at us that we're inside. But then when we went, the thing about being inside though is we could practice as much as we wanted to.
Yeah.
But then when we were outside, and we were out there just kind of like, and whenever they would do drills and stuff like to march, and we couldn't play when the people that marched did drills, and they would get upset.
And we just kind of had to sit there.
Yeah,
like-
and they would get upset at us for just standing there not doing anything. So it was kind of like a lose-lose scenario, you know.
Not everyone was like that, but they're
No, not everyone. Not everyone. I'm not trying to make it sound like that, but there were a few people, but no. But in all seriousness, I had a lot of fun for my 2 years in marching band.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I wish I could have done it longer, but it was a great experience.
I
in
think
my life.
percussion is definitely the. I guess I'm a little biased, but the percussion, any percussion section in marching band is always seems like the most fun section to be in. You know,
especially our last show, our senior year.
Yeah.
Especially 'cause
Yeah.
I loved our group we had
Yeah,
for
definitely.
this last year because we had me, you, Jack, Antoine, and Debbie, and
Yeah.
and all five of us were we had like the same mindset about like everything. We were all really chill.
Yeah,
And we-
basic. Yeah,
and we were
basically.
and we just like laughed at shit. And we just had a good time, and none of us were like uptight about.
I was
like,
just
you
thinking
know.
of that word, uptight.
Uptight.
There's a lot of uptight marching band students.
Yeah,
you know.
and I'm not saying that as in like we didn't care because we did care.
No. Oh yeah,
We definitely cared.
Yeah.
And we put our best foot forward.
Yeah. I mean, there were. I was section leader for the last 2 years, and there were some times where I had to like get on Jack mostly.
Yeah.
Because it was mainly normally I wouldn't have, but it was mainly just because they kept telling us. I think they just kept telling us to stop playing when we weren't supposed to.
And he would hit a few.
And he would hit a few, which I do that too, but like it was getting to the point to where, like, you know, our Miss Davis, Miss Davis, our marching band teacher or whatever. Director, yeah. I was looking for that word. She was getting like just, you know, irritated with us, and that was making the whole band irritated. So I just didn't want to start anything, and I just you know. So whenever he started playing, when they said not to, I was just like, Jack, please just stop, man. Especially there were some days where, you know, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, I don't really want to
get into it. There were some days where a few people got on my nerves.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
but I think you're gonna have those people in every marching band.
yeah, I think you're gonna have those no matter what.
For the people listening who aren't in marching band or have no clue anything about marching band, sorry.
Sorry.
But
yeah, and you know, like you said about about Jack. I had to do that a lot for or not really like, in the same way, but I had to be there a lot for Antoine because he would get like because he would get upset about a lot of things, and I understood where he was coming from. But I would just try
Yeah.
and calm him down. I'll be like, hey man, look, like I know it's this is pretty shitty right now. But I
Yeah.
promise you, right? You're here with your friends. We're gonna have a good
Antoine was
time.
probably the best part of our senior
Oh
year.
my god, it was amazing.
He
He was
his
amazing, man.
energy and like him
It,
being around him was just so fucking fun.
oh
I
yeah,
don't
it was
like.
fun as shit. Yeah, I love him. Yeah, he's a great
We
fucking
need him on the
guy.
podcast.
Oh, he would make an amazing guest. Dude. I actually saw him not that long ago.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's fucking great. We should totally get him
Yeah,
on the podcast.
dude, I'm really gonna miss that like marching band.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that too.
And like I could have done marching band at USC in college, but like it's not the same as high school marching band.
No.
Honestly,
yeah,
I mean, I did ask about jazz band, which that very much so interests me. So
yeah.
I did like 2 years of jazz band in high school,
Mhm.
and that was so fucking fun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like yeah.
I know y'all actually I think it was the year before I joined. Y'all went on a cruise for jazz band, right?
Yeah. We practiced music to play on a cruise, and that cruise was so fun.
Yeah. Tell me about that cruise that y'all went on.
That cruise it lasted like a little under a week, and we performed like the second day. So after that, we had the rest of the time to just do whatever the fuck we wanted.
Yeah.
God, it was so fucking fun. We went. I don't remember the exact places we went to, but
I think didn't y'all go to like the Bahamas?
yeah, we went to the Bahamas. Yeah, we went to some other spots. But
Half Moon Cay maybe.
where?
Half Moon Cay.
I think so.
Because I've been to the Bahamas before. That was years ago. Like I was in the 3rd grade, but y'all might have had the same route. Because I know y'all were on a Carnival cruise.
Yeah, we were on a Carnival.
And
Carnival cruise.
I was also on a Carnival cruise, so it might have taken the same route. that
Yeah,
we
it
went
was
on
just
years ago.
it was so fucking fun. And the worst part was like getting on the ship and feeling the ocean. It was like whoa.
Yeah.
And then after that, the worst part was getting off the ship, and you were like whoa.
It's not moving.
Like it literally feels like you're moving, but you're not. It's
Okay,
weird.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
weird feeling. But yeah, performing on the cruise was so fun. I play bass. I love bass, especially in like jazz band.
Is that kind of where you
Farted. I'm sorry.
is that kind of where you started to like really enjoy bass?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think jazz band in high school. Because originally I started to play the keyboard, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. Because when you play keyboard in jazz, it's like it's a lot you have to learn in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, and my brain just can't do that. But with bass, it's either it has specific notes for you to play, or it's just a chord, and you can just play that note, the main note of the chord or whatever. And I would always love when it would just give you a chord, so I could make up my own rhythm and just play the note.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. And a lot of jazz band is like improv too, which is one of the best parts. But they got Carson on the keyboard, which
Oh God,
Carson is
he's
an
a-
amazing keyboard player.
he's a god on.
He is a
keyboard.
god on the keyboard. It is insane. So and it was fun because like the bass, me and Carson the keyboard and the bass were just right beside each other, like
Oh,
in
yeah.
practice and we performed. So me and Carson were just goofing off the whole time. Like it was so fun.
Oh yeah. And I know another thing is just going on a cruise with like a bunch of your friends. Like
That was
I wish I could have joined the year before so I could
yeah,
have
dude.
experienced
Oh
that.
man, that would have been a guitar and a bass, dude. That game over, dude. That would have been
Game over.
Me, you, and Carson back there, like goofing off the whole time. That
that would have pissed someone off.
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, yeah. And we even had like some kids from other schools come and be in the jazz band too. And come
Oh,
with
yeah,
us.
okay,
I
yeah.
think from Central and MacB.
Okay.
I think. But yeah, it was really fun, dude. Oh my god! On the cruise ship, they had Guy Fieri burgers, and it was
Oh,
a buffet,
man.
so you could literally go up there and get a burger anytime you want, and there was always a fresh burger up there.
That
Those-
sounds amazing.
Those are by far the best burgers I've ever had. Hands down.
That's the best burger you've ever
Yeah,
had.
it, dude. Oh my god, Guy Fieri is a god.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
I mean, he wasn't there. Like, they weren't made by him, but like.
Could you imagine he's on the cruise
could you
boat,
imagine
man?
going up?
He's flipping burgers on the Carnival cruise boat.
Oh my god, and it's like there's like this outside section with the pool, and that's where the burgers are, and you go into this
Yeah.
inside section where it was like more of a restaurant where they
Mhm.
served more food, but outside all they had was just burgers. It's like you could go up there and get a burger. You could get as many burgers as you want. You could,
That's fucking.
you could go in the morning and get burgers, and then go at night and get burgers.
Was it like you had when you went to the buffet? Did you have to pay, or was it just like included when?
It was included. The
Okay.
burgers are all the food. Everything was included with. the price.
That's really fucking awesome.
So like literally, you could go up there and get as many burgers as you want, and that. Oh my god. Oh, I would go on a cruise again just for the burgers. If it had Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri burgers.
I think it's
on
just
it.
Carnival. I think Carnival just has those.
Probably.
Because I
They
remember
probably have,
sitting
like,
at
a
a
deal with
table and he had signed the table or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Does he like own part of Carnival?
They probably have like a sponsorship deal with them.
Probably, yeah.
So yeah, other cruises probably don't have that right now.
Yeah. But that was such a fun experience. I hate you couldn't be there.
I know. I would have had a hell of a time.
That was so fun.
Yeah, and you mentioned this is kind of funny. It relates back to earlier, but so you said that that's the best burger you've ever had was the Guy Fieri burgers on the Carnival cruise ship.
Yeah.
The best burger I've ever had was not that long ago. It was like December
It was
of
about 3 years ago.
300 years ago. When I
300 years ago, I had the perfect burger.
It was made by Mr. Tom Burger himself, the inventor of the burger.
Tom Burger?
Dude,
the inventor of the burger, Tom Burger. I wonder who invented the burger.
I don't know. Look that up.
I'm looking that shit up.
All right. Well, the best burger I've ever had. If you were ever in Clemson, South Carolina,
I almost looked up Tom Burger. I didn't even mean to do that.
he's like a real person.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're ever in Clemson, South Carolina, and you go to downtown Clemson, there's a place called Loose Change. And the reason we went there is because my dad and I toured Clemson that day, and we asked some of the students. We were like, okay, we want to eat somewhere local since we're here. Is there anywhere that's like really good? And every single person we asked said go to Loose Change downtown. It's like a burger place. And dude, when I tell you that Loose Change had the best burger I've ever fucking had, like it was like one of those burgers. It's like juicy.
Loose Change.
Yeah.
Where is this?
Downtown Clemson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like the burger it's kind of messy because it's juicy.
Oh, that's how you know you got a good
And
burger though.
The reason how I know it's fucking good is because first off I'm weird. I don't like cheese on my burgers.
We don't have to get into that.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that right now. All I got on the burger was bacon, and that was it.
Mm.
And it had so much fucking flavor, and it was good. It was delicious as shit.
Mm.
So if you can make a burger like that good for me, then you know it's like with just bacon on it. You know it's fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like it, and the sad thing is I'll probably like never be there again.
Yeah.
I'll probably never go back there. But
Well, I'm gonna have to write that down. That sounds
Yeah.
really good.
if you ever go there for like you have friends from that want to go to a game there or something, or you're ever down in Clemson for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
go there.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So apparently, the first hamburger, a ground meat patty between two slices of bread, was created in America in 1900 by
Tom Burger.
Louis Lassen, a Danish immigrant. So
I wish his last name was like Burger or something.
I was hoping to look that up, and the guy's last name would be Burger.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know where does that word come from? Like,
I think it's. Isn't it German? Like hamburger? Isn't that German?
it sounds German.
Or wait, what is he? He's a Danish. Yeah, he's a Danish immigrant.
So it's from Denmark.
I guess.
You know, I've always wanted to visit Denmark. Have I told you why?
Why?
Because that's where
I think you have actually.
that's where Lego was
Yeah.
founded. Yeah.
Yeah, you have told me
Yeah,
that.
and the inventor of Lego, his name is Olkirk Christensen, and his house is like still there, and it's like, and now it's like a museum for Lego, and you can go there and like tour it.
That's pretty awesome. What's his name?
Olkirk Christensen.
Dude, that sounds like a wizard you meet in the woods that gives you like 3 wishes.
He gives me the first Lego brick.
And from that brick, I will build a foundation for more bricks.
Yeah, like I've always wanted to visit there because of that, and I'm sure they have like a Lego factory there. They have Lego factories in a lot of different places, and I'm pretty sure like the Lego group is in Denmark, so I would love to just visit that shit.
I've always wanted to travel, like just fucking everywhere, like around the world.
I've always wanted to too.
Well, mainly I've wanted to travel, like get an RV and just travel to every state in the U.S.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that to me
Yeah,
before,
and then like an outside U.S. place that I really want to visit is Japan.
Oh, I really want to visit.
Like
Japan.
I've always wanted to visit Japan. That's always been like a thing, and the UK, like Japan and like
yeah.
Like Sweden and places like that.
Yeah, my top place that I want to visit like outside of the U.S. would yeah, no, it'll definitely be Japan. Because so much of the shit that I like comes from Japan, like just for one, like Nintendo, like and because if that like over there, just because a lot of the shit that I like is like even more popular over there.
Yeah.
And they're like they're like big into it, and I actually the other day I tried some Japanese candy the other day.
Really?
It was actually yesterday. It was interesting because like those boxes that like you can order, and they're like a bunch of like Japanese candy, you can try it.
Yeah.
Well, my now girlfriend came over yesterday, and she had bought some like a while back. She had like a few pieces left, and she brought them over, and we tried them, and one of them was like this it was really like bizarre, like in the packaging. It was like this it was like a small tube. It was clear plastic, and it was like a tube, not like solid, like packaging plastic, and it was just like, I thought it was just like blue liquid inside it, but it was actually like a Jello type thing.
Oh, okay.
And that was good. It was interesting, but I didn't have that much of it. But it was like, let's say it was like 5 inches long. I had about like 1 inch worth of it, and she had the other 4, and she was like overwhelmed with it. So I think it was a lot stronger if you have more of it. And then there were these Pop Rocks things that they were good. They were basically Pop Rocks, but like a little bigger. And then there was this other thing where it was I don't even know what it was, but it was just like this shit that was kind of sweet, but it just dissolved in your mouth like instantly. They're like little pellets, and they dissolved in your mouth instantly. But yeah, but Japan has like some weird shit over there. Like,
yeah, they
like
do.
like they have. Like, I've seen they have like I'm pretty sure I've seen that they have wasabi flavored Kit Kats. Pretty sure I've seen that.
That was a moment of silence for everyone who's tried wasabi flavored Kit Kats. Jesus Christ, what would that even taste like? I don't even know. I don't think I've ever had wasabi.
I don't think I have either, but there's a reason for that.
Are you allergic to it or something?
No, I'm just scared.
You said there was a reason. I was like, oh, are you like allergic? No, I'm just terrified.
No, I'm just scared.
No, I would like to
Dude,
try wasabi.
The moment I saw Mater try that shit in Cars 2, I was out.
Oh my god, I remember that. Holy shit.
You remember when that movie came out, and that was what they advertised, like specifically that scene, like everywhere?
I think holy shit, yeah, I know what you're talking about. He tried wasabi.
Yeah. No, because he was like, they had this like forklift car like scooping it from the thing. He was like, shoot, that's a little bit. I give me a bigger scoop of ice cream there.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, they would show that everywhere.
Yeah. Come on, Kiba. Come on. Yeah, that's it.
Oh my god. Mater is my spirit animal.
On the world. What'd you say?
I said, I said Mater is my spirit animal.
That was Mater's spirit attacking you for saying that. On the world's best backward driver.
I still like love the fact that our first like gameplay video on the channel was Cars the racing.
Yeah,
game.
it's fucking Cars 3.
Driven to Win.
Driven to Win. That's that's so funny because we were looking for like what to record first, and we decided just to do like a joke thing.
Yeah.
So we played Cars 3.
Turned out to be really fun. The game sucked.
Yeah,
It didn't suck, but it was just.
I mean, and plus I have it on the Switch, so you might as well just play Mario Kart. You know.
It was basically a
Like
Mario Kart.
Yeah, I mean, if you have that game, it's because you're a fan of like the Cars movies.
Mhm.
Which I love the first one because when I was little, that was my shit. Like I love the Cars movie. I still do. Even though I can acknowledge it's not one of Pixar's best films.
Mm-hmm.
But just for like every time I see that movie or just like any of like the diecast like toys, I get just like a lot of nostalgia for it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I still love that movie. And I love like Lightning McQueen and Chick Hicks and the King.
Yeah, Cars was my movie, like one of my favorite movies growing up too. Yeah. Oh, speaking of nostalgia, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft recently, and like.
Okay, yeah.
My favorite part is when the music will fade in every now and then, because like whenever I hear the Minecraft music, it gives me, it takes me back to like when I first found Minecraft and like I really got into it, and all those memories of me playing it with Tyler over at Tyler's house.
Yeah.
Like
Jesus Christ.
I know, right? But like it gives me so many good memories that whenever I hear that music, I'm just like on the verge of tears. I'm like, oh man. No, but
that's really awesome.
That music. I have that album downloaded too. The music is so great.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're trying to sleep, just put that music on. You'll be slow.
Yeah, one thing that I'm nostalgic for, which it's really weird that I have like nostalgic feelings for this. I already have nostalgic feelings for Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it only came out in 2017. It's only
Well, that was 3 years ago.
It's a little over 3 years ago.
Well, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
Think about it.
I have like just surrounding that game and the Switch launch. I have so many good memories because it was. I remember specifically. There was a lot of rumors for Nintendo's big next system for like about 2 years or so, and it was codenamed Nintendo NX. And I remember specifically, I was in my this was my freshman year of high school. I was in my physical science class, and I don't know if they still do this or it hasn't worked recently, but on my Apple Watch, you could scroll a little bit on Instagram and see posts, and I scrolled to this like Nintendo page I followed, and there was a picture of their like next system, and I was like, I put it away because I didn't want to get spoiled because there were rumors that there was going to be a trailer release soon, and it was like I'd wait 30 minutes for class to be over because my next class was gym, so I could watch the trailer in gym, because I knew it had released because of that post, and I was like, that was the longest 30 minutes of my life.
Oh, I bet so.
Yeah, and at that time, our friend Rosie, she was like my
Our ex-friend. She's not our friend anymore.
Oh yeah, but no, she was my best friend at the time, pretty much, because she was like my first friend I made at high school. But I guess I had been talking to her about like the next Nintendo NX and what was gonna be and just all the rumors and shit. And I told her about Zelda probably. And I remember I went to gym class and I texted her and I was like I don't know, I would probably text her like in all caps something about the Switch or the NX. And I waited to watch the trailer with her. Like I wanted to watch it so bad, but I waited like it was probably only like 3 minutes, but it felt like forever. And we sat like on the stage, or we sat like the back of the stage in the gym there, and we watched the first Nintendo Switch trailer. And I like fucking lost my mind like that whole class. She was too. She thought it was really fucking cool how, and because at the time it blew my mind how the guy was like, if you watch the first trailer, the guy's playing the Switch on the TV, and he like disassembles his controllers and puts it on the thing and takes it out and he takes it with him. Like when I saw that in the trailer, it was just fucking mind blowing because it's like a console level game on like a handheld like that.
Yeah.
But I was and that was in October of 2016, and from then until March, it released in March. Zelda Breath of the Wild released alongside the Switch, and for that whole amount of time, I was talking about it a lot. I was really fucking excited for it.
Mm.
But the problem was I never pre-ordered it,
Oh.
and there's a bit of an interesting story with that. Is that it was like it released. I'm pretty sure it released on a Friday.
Mm.
Um, and it was like Thursday night. Since I was a freshman in high school, I didn't drive yet, so my mom drove me around to several different towns, looking to see if we could go to like a Walmart or somewhere, and get in line at the back to buy a Switch. But every time we got there, the line was too long, and there was one we went to, and I think it was Bennettsville. We got there and we got there one person too late because one guy had gotten there like 3 minutes before we did, and he was in line for the last one that they had.
Oh wow.
And so we drove to a few different towns at night. We got back at like it was probably at 3 a.m. by that point. We got back home, and I was kind of disappointed because we didn't have we couldn't find a Switch anywhere. Um, so I just went to sleep. And then the next morning, my mom wakes me up, and she's like, Cutter, there's a Switch at the Walmart here in Charlotte. But we have to go now if you want it. And so we.
Your ass got out of that bed, didn't it?
Oh yeah, and actually it happened a little different because this was really stupid of me. I shouldn't have done this, but at the time there were two versions that were released. One had gray Joy-Cons and the other had the neon red and blue ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted the gray ones. And it was like the night before, and I regret this because it was just, and it worked out anyway, but I'll get to that. But I still regret this because my mom asked me, 'cause I think she told me she was gonna go to the Walmart like in the morning, like as soon as they opened, and which was amazing. She's the best. And she asked me, like, I know you want the gray one, but if they have the neon one, do you want me to get it or not? And I said no. I said I don't know why. I said I only wanted the gray one, which is really stupid of me. And she went to Walmart and she came back and woke me up because they had one, but it was the neon one. So she asked me if I wanted that one. And I was like, yeah, because then it kind of hit me. I was like, well, I still switched. Let me go get that. So we went to I've never gotten out of my bed faster. Like I basically got out of my bed, ran in the door, put my shoes on, and went to Walmart with my mom. And we got there, and it was funny how it worked out because we got there and they still had that one Switch.
That's crazy.
And the lady that worked there, she was actually like, someone had pre-ordered a Switch and it was a gray one, but they wanted the neon one instead, so we have a gray one now. Is that okay? So it ended up working out where I got the gray one just because someone pre-ordered one and they wanted a different one.
Mm.
So they had the gray one, which is the one I wanted. So that worked out perfectly, and I had enough money to buy. The Switch and Breath of the Wild, which is $60.
Mm.
But it was actually it's coming back to me now. When my mom came back to wake me up, when she went there the first time, she bought me like the big special edition of Zelda, which that big box I had on that shelf up there.
Yeah.
And it had like the game, a map, a coin, soundtrack, and a case for my Switch, Zelda case, and it was really fucking cool. And that was like $100, and she bought that for me. And then it was like the next couple of days, she also bought me like 4 of the amiibos from that game as well, which is so incredibly nice. That was like an early birthday for me, pretty much. But yeah, and then it was like for 2 months straight, all I did was play that game on my Switch for 2 months straight, and it was fucking amazing. And I had so much fun playing that game, and having a Switch was so exciting. Like that was the first time I've ever gotten a console at launch. And now it's kind of like when I play it, it brings back a lot of those memories where even though we were in high school at that point, it was still like a lot simpler than it is now, and like as cheesy as that might sound.
Oh yeah, I know that's really weird to say, but like, it's true.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, and
It's
it just
crazy. It's only been out for like what 3 years,
it's about 3.5 now.
3.5.
It's
That's crazy because that's honestly not that long.
it's not, which is really bizarre to me. Why whenever I play that game, I get nostalgic feelings for
Yeah.
it.
And I've only had my Switch for like I think 2 years.
Something like that. Yeah.
Um, and I felt like I've had that for like a decade.
Oh yeah,
I feel like I've had it for so long, but it's only like 2 years.
yeah. And one thing about my Switch is that because I know this because sometimes when I've seen your Switch, it looks a lot different because I have mine here and it's like if you look at it in the light, the back is like you can tell I've used it a lot if you like get it on the glare a certain way. Because
Yeah.
yours is like a matte finish, and my Switch is almost like a gloss finish now.
Yeah.
Because I've used it so much.
Excuse me.
Not excuse. Didn't even do anything.
No. Yeah. That scared the fucking shit out of me.
That scared the fuck out of me too.
What the hell was that?
That was Luke's cup and spoon he left here the other day.
Oh my god.
The fan probably knocked it off.
Oh. You have ghosts in here. Ooh,
Well,
Cutter, I'm here to take your virginity.
Oh, do it.
Could you imagine if you saw a ghost and was like, I'm here to take your virginity?
What would your reaction be to that?
Go ahead. No.
Get it done with. Get it over with.
Like if I saw a ghost and it talked to me?
Well, I meant specifically about the virginity one, but yeah, we can go with that. That's an interesting question as well.
Well, if I saw a ghost and it said it wanted to take my virginity, I'd say go for it. No.
What if they give you like ghost herpes or something? Or ghost
Bro, you
HIV?
can't see that shit. It's ghost herpes.
You do have a good point. Like when you have like a it's like when you have a ghost wipe.
It was a ghost shit, dude. You ever shit in the toilet and you look down and it's gone?
No,
I love how you like completely stop dead in your tracks. No, what I mean is like it goes too far
Oh,
in and like you can't
yeah.
visibly see it.
I was gonna say like one time I think I blacked out and ate it, but yeah.
Dude, I took a shit and then I woke up and it was all in my mouth. I didn't know.
Really weird experience.
Really weird experience.
No, but yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Back on the ghost thing. I don't believe in like ghosts or spirits or anything. But like I know a lot of people do and a lot of people have like really personal experiences and shit with that. But yeah, if there actually are ghosts, I would love to have an experience. I mean,
Yeah, and
You
and
know.
the one thing that I've kind of noticed with a lot of people that like tell these stories
yeah.
is that like I've never really had a ghost experience either. There's maybe one thing when I was little. I'll get in that. It's not really. I don't know. I was little, so we'll see. But I'll get that in a moment. But the thing I've noticed is that a lot of these people that have had these experiences, it's like the same people keep having these experiences, and then these other people have never had one experience.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
No, I've
that-
never.
That comes
had
off a little
anything.
suspicious. don't you
Yeah.
think?
It's for yeah. It's yeah. It's a very touchy subject too because a lot of people are really adamant that there are ghosts and especially people who have had these experiences. But like most of the time when somebody explains like an experience they had, most of the time, I mean, it's I'm a very logical person, so when somebody comes to me and says they had a ghost encounter and they explain it, I'm obviously trying to figure out like, okay, what actually happened? Like, what happened to the point to where you thought you had a ghost experience?
Yeah.
So most of the time, somebody will come to me and like tell like a ghost story, and I'll be like, well, actually, this probably happened, and you got it confused with
Yeah.
Especially when people are like, oh, I woke up and I saw a ghost. It's like, oh, so you woke up from your sleep, like that's you could when you wake up from like a dream or something and you look in your room, you could very well see something like that because that part of your brain is still working.
Yeah, I still dreaming.
Yeah, so
And that's very possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I had sleep paralysis when I was like a lot when I was younger, and when I was younger, I always thought that was like a ghostly thing that happened to me, like every
mhm.
time it happened. But when I got older, I learned about sleep paralysis. I was like, oh, I have that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah,
I still have that like twice a year, maybe. Like when I was younger, I had it like all the time, but
yeah. I think I remember you telling me about that one
yeah,
time. Like,
that's a scary fucking thing.
so I think one day it happened to you, and you were telling me about it.
Yeah, that is a scary experience every time, every single time it happens. It's incredibly scary because it
Oh yeah.
happens when like you first wake up. And well, for anyone who doesn't know, sleep paralysis is basically you wake up from a deep sleep and you can't fucking move, or
Mhm.
that's how it is for me. I when I have it, I can't move, and sometimes it's to the point where I'm struggling to breathe because like I'm just frozen because like it's kind of where like your mind wakes up but like your body is still asleep and you can't move it, and also since you're waking up from like a deep sleep, you you know you'll kind of a lot of people who have sleep paralysis, they'll say that they have an episode of it and they'll see like figures in their room or they'll see shit in their room because
Mhm.
they just woke up from a deep sleep and that, like I said earlier, that part of their brain is still working. So to see shit like that and not be able to move, it's very terrifying.
Oh yeah.
I've personally never had it, and I've never seen shit, but I've it's terrifying. It's terrifying either way. Like you just wake up and you're trying so hard to move, but you can't,
Yeah, and like,
and then eventually everything kicks in and you can move, and it's terrifying every time.
yeah, no, I can't even like imagine that because I'm trying to imagine like just like just laying there thinking and I can't like move my body like
Yeah, no,
at all.
it's terrifying.
Oh yeah, no,
And
I'm sure.
also when I was growing up, I always thought like when it happened when I was younger, I was like, okay, you know, what you know, I guess that's not a common thing, and maybe I need to get it checked out or something. But it's actually very common, and like a lot of people like
Yeah,
have it, and there's not really a cure for it. I mean, it just happens,
yeah.
you know.
It's
So
I guess it's just something that you have to live with, which sucks.
yeah, it doesn't
Um,
happen to me that much anymore. Like I said, like maybe once or twice a year, not even
yeah.
that. Like you know, I haven't had it in a while, like a while. I say that now, and I'm gonna have an episode
You
when I wake
like
up tomorrow.
yeah,
Uh, um, but yeah, what were we talking about? Ghosts?
yeah, it
Yeah.
goes.
Okay. So a lot of people have that, and they'll kind of confuse that with like a ghost experience, but like it's really their brain just like going crazy because
Yeah.
yeah.
And like I'll tell you about the kind of experience I had when I was little. It's not I'll get into why this probably like isn't right, but the first thing is that well, I'll just get into it.
Let's get right into the news.
No, I'd rather not. um, but yeah, it was like whenever I was little and before I was born, my mom had a cat and she loved that cat. Her name was Muffin, or his name. It might have been. I don't remember if it was a he or her, but my mom had this cat and his name was Muffin, and she loved Muffin. And there was like one time I was like really little, and I was walking in the hallway, and I swear I saw like like a ghostly figure of like the cat walking, and then it just kind of like vanished.
Of a cat?
Yeah. But the
Hmm.
first thing is that I don't know if cats and animals can like do ghostly things,
Do
but
ghostly things.
but another thing is that especially when you're so little like I was at most I was like probably 4 or 5
Oh
like
wow. Okay. Yeah.
at most I was probably at most I'll say 5.
Mm-hmm.
um so sometime between that and when you start remembering shit like 3 maybe.
Yeah.
um but the thing especially about memories when you're that young is that you're not when you get to like our age, we're 18, and you think back that far, you're not thinking about, or you're not remembering what happened. You're remembering the last time you remembered that memory. And that's really for anything, because whenever you remember something, you're not remembering like what happened. You're remembering the last time you remembered it, and that's how a lot of memories can get skewed. And
Hmm.
where, Like let's like
You just blew my mind right there.
yeah, like a lot of times when let's say you and your friend have had like a shared experience
Mhm.
and one of you would tell a story and then the other friend is like, no, it didn't happen that way. It happened so and so.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very likely that's just because the last time they remembered it, things slowly change every time they remember it because
yeah.
they're remembering the last time they remembered it, not like the moment.
Mm. Yeah, ghosts are weird, man.
Yeah.
It's very weird because when I was younger, that was definitely a fear of mine, like spirits or demons or stuff. But um, I grew older and I just kind of grew out of that, I guess. It's still like a very interesting thing to talk about and discuss with people,
Oh yeah.
like especially people who like really believe in that stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know.
It's very interesting.
Um, but yeah, I've never really had a ghostly experience. Yeah, and most of the time, like if something happens that could be confused as like, oh, it's a ghost, it'll like 5 minutes later, I'll be like, oh, okay, it was actually that. Like, like something knocking over, like
Yeah.
your house creaks or whatever,
Yeah, and
shit like that.
the thing for me is that like, if I'm being honest, I don't really know if I like, and I've been this way for a while. I don't really know if I like believe in ghosts and shit or not.
Mm.
I don't really know.
I, do, I don't.
I've always leaned more towards no.
Yeah, I don't only because I've personally never had an experience like a ghostly experience. So
That's a good point.
I've never really had a reason to believe in that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why I'm like, hey, if there's any ghosts, come say hi.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to see if it was true or not, but because some people have like really insane
And they're like
stories,
very vivid,
like very like and they'll swear up and down that it actually happened.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's really crazy.
Yeah, and like the thing with me about it is that like I said, I don't really know if I believe in it or not. But I've leaned more towards no. But the funny thing is like, let's say if I'm home alone and like I hear something, like my first thought is like, is that a ghost? Or, like, like a demon,
I think that's
like a
pretty
demon
much
or something.
everyone. Like,
Yeah,
I do that too. Like,
I'll get scared for a second, and then I'm like, no, it's probably like the dryer or something. Like,
yeah, um, yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever had anything like that. Um, I don't know. I was so fascinated by ghosts when I was younger. Oh my god, can we talk about like the ghost hunting shows and how
Yeah.
fake they are and
Yeah,
how
yeah.
amazing it is?
I've been
Dude,
thinking about those while we've been talking.
when I was younger, me and my mom every Friday night a new episode of Ghost Adventures would come on, and that would be our show. We would watch it. I loved doing it. I even went to with my grandma because I dragged her into it, and she was really into it too. And me and my grandma sometimes went to like graveyards and like recorded shit, like trying to catch something.
That's awesome.
I actually did take a picture at like the old St. David's church, that graveyard or whatever, and like I actually took a picture, and when we went, there was no one there, and I actually took a picture. And in the picture, it looked like an outline of a dude, and it looked like he was wearing like a white shirt and black pants, and he looked very, like kind of I don't know the word. It looked really distorted, like
faded,
like
maybe.
faded. Like he looked very faded, and it looked like a person. Um, I guess that could count as like a ghost, but like I don't have that picture now. But I don't know that I totally forgot about that. I guess that could be like, hey, I took a picture and it looked like a figure, but like it could have easily been something else, like
Yeah.
that made it look like that. Um, or there could have been someone there and we just didn't see them.
So we don't know.
Plus, I think I took that picture as we were driving out. Like she was driving and I was
Yeah.
taking pictures, so it could have just been a blur or something.
Yeah, and
Um,
it could have been and again, it could have been someone that maybe someone was there, but y'all just didn't see him. 'Cause maybe
Yeah.
maybe he had just gotten there or something. And y'all were
Yeah.
driving out.
But anyways, I loved Ghost Adventures, and I both loved and hated watching it because in the show, like before they started their investigation or whatever, they would like interview people, and whenever the people they interviewed talked about like a scary incident that happened, they would intercut like these. It's almost like stock footage, but like these scary images of like ghosts and shit, and they would always fucking scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And there was this one episode that it was so fucking scary. I don't know why they did that, but it was like it was
there a bunch
this
of jump scares? Like,
no. It was just like whenever they would interview someone while they were interviewing and while they were talking, they would intercut footage of like it was obviously like actors, but it was like of that experience.
One of those shows.
Yeah,
oh
but
my god, dude.
yeah, but like it. I swear to God, it was about this girl that like killed herself or like killed herself in a bathtub or whatever. They were interviewed. It's giving me goosebumps now just thinking about it. But like they interviewed this person that talked about the girl or whatever, what happened, and then it cut to like a picture of a bathtub, and then two hands came over the rim of the tub, and a little girl peeped over, and like her eyes were like a little blacked out. And then it cut back to them interviewing the person. And I was like, what the fuck was that shit?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
That kind of reminds me of that scene that I think was deleted from the final cut, but of that scene from The Shining when there's an old lady like in the like bathtub shower.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Yeah, that's pretty creepy.
That's very creepy. Yeah.
Shining is such a great movie.
It's such
a great movie. But I also kind of want to talk about Zach Bagans, who's the host of Ghost Adventures.
Okay.
He is fucking insane. He made music that I found out about recently.
Okay.
Which is it's so weird because it like he'll record himself like talking like a journal type thing.
Mm-hmm. Like in the music?
No, but like normally, like if he has like an experience or something,
okay,
he'll record it and save it. And he uses some of those in his music that he made. Like this was back in 2013. That's when the music was dated or whatever. But it's so fun. And it's like kind of this dubstep type music.
Oh, of course.
It's so funny. But like, he is fucking insane.
We should watch Ghost Adventures and record that.
Well, like, he was always one of the best parts of the show because he has a very interesting. He was very charismatic and everything. But like looking back at the show now, and like looking at him now, like he has in his house he has all these ancient spiritual artifacts all around, and it's like it's fucking crazy. He has his own museum where he collects these pieces of history that have had spiritual connections and shit.
Okay, yeah.
And it's so fucking. He is just insane.
If everything that they say is true about all the ghosts and shit, you would think he would be having experiences right and left every day.
Well, I think he claims that he has.
I mean, you would think he would have brunch with his ghost friends every day, like, with how many spiritual artifacts he has.
It was kind of cool because after the show ended, at the very end, sometimes if any of the crew had an experience afterwards when they went home, they would insert them talking about it at the end of the show.
Okay, yeah. But no, the funny thing about those shows where it's like these ghost shows where, you know, the people are like interviewed and they tell the story, and then they intercut scenes of like actors like playing out what the story is. Mm-hmm. The funny thing about that is he doesn't a lot now. But my dad used to like record all those shows and like fucking watch the shit out of them, because my dad in the living room at our house, he has this lazy boy chair, and he's like almost always in that chair watching TV, and he's usually working on like his phone or his laptop. He's usually working while he watches TV, but in his lazy boy chair. But if it's not in football season, he would usually be watching either like a ghost show with like the shitty actors,
mm-hmm.
Like My Crazy Ex, or the Bachelorette with my mom.
Okay,
Is the Bachelorette the one where there's all the girls and like one guy?
Yeah.
That's what they would. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. The Bachelor. How do you pronounce it?
The Bachelorette.
The Bachelorette.
The Bachelorette.
Bachelor.
Oh, I
can't say it. Why can't I say it? The Bachelorette.
The Bachelorette.
Bachelorette.
the Bachelor. Fuck you! God damn it!
Hell yeah! The Bachelorette.
The Bachelorette.
The Bachelorette.
You said it once.
The Bachelorette. Is that it?
Oh, I think you messed up.
I don't know what
The Bachelorette.
The
The Bachelorette.
The Bachelor.
The Bachelorette.
The Bachelor, and then the Bachelorette.
Stop! Don't say it again. you said it. You said it good once.
The
Don't say it.
Bachelorette.
Okay, you gotta stop.
Okay, I think I got it.
Okay. Okay. All right. You said it. Okay. Good.
That's amazing. Back to Ghost Adventures, because I wanted to say, I remember what I was gonna say. There was one guy on their crew. His name was Aaron Goodwin. He was the best part of the show. Like he was,
Okay, yeah.
you could tell he was there because he legit believed in this shit, and like you could tell he was legit. Like like when you watch Zach, and there was another guy. His name was Nick, I think. You can watch those two, and you can kind of tell it's like, I don't know if they're being genuine.
Like maybe they're putting on a front.
Yeah, I don't know if they're being genuine, especially Zach. He's very like cares like in a weird, not a weird way, but Aaron was like always, you could tell like when he got scared, it was the funniest thing because he would legit like be like, okay guys, I'm done, like get me out, like get like
Yeah.
and he would always make these fun like in really funny faces. That sounds stupid, but it was like whenever something would happen, he'd be like, whoa! Like it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hate it because he actually came out and said that as the show went on, there would be episodes where they would go to places and legit nothing would happen, and the producers would step in and like the producers would like make shit happen for like views and ratings and shit.
Yeah.
And he actually came out and said that. But he only said that because when they first started the show, it was legit. Like, they legit wanted to find ghosts and shit.
And it just became
It
like
just became something else.
it just became like purely entertainment.
Yeah, basically. Like, the producers would literally throw rocks, and they'd be like, oh, what was that? Was that a ghost or something?
Yeah.
There's some episodes where, like, you look at what they caught, and it's like, wow, that's actually kind of interesting. Like, because the very first thing they did was a documentary before the show, and in the documentary, it ended with them in this place, and like they were recording this brick like on the floor,
Yeah.
and like literally all of a sudden the brick flies across the room.
That's
And like they
interesting.
caught that on camera, like
Yeah.
and then they had this dude like trying to debunk it, like as like a string, and he put all these different effects on it to see if there was a string, and there was
Yeah.
no string or whatever. It was probably fake, but like it, seeing that as a kid, like I did,
It's
I
scary.
was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, it's scary stuff, you know.
And earlier in the documentary, they caught this apparition moving from one side of the camera to the other, and it was like really crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that documentary is actually it's pretty cool to watch.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you go to the show and it's like, okay, this is very different. Like the
Mhm.
documentary, you could tell it was just them. They kind of went in guerrilla style, like by themselves. But yeah, it was. I find it funny that I'm talking about Ghost Adventures because you know the channel Red Letter Media.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love their videos, and every now and then Mike, I think, yeah, his name is Mike, from Red Letter Media. He'll every now and then he'll talk about Ghost Adventures and Zach Bagans because it interests him too. So whenever he talks about it, I love it because that was like my show when I was in there. And I found this video on YouTube somebody made. It was like Mike from Red Letter Media talking about Ghost Adventures for 10 minutes straight, and it was really fucking.
Oh, yeah.
It was really fucking funny.
I know you watched the shit out of that.
Oh yeah, and he was basically saying the exact same thing, like how crazy Zach Bagans is,
Mhm.
and how everything is basically fake, but it's just so intriguing that you can't help but not watch it.
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention I have a book by Zach Bagans.
I think you've told me that before.
I sent you a picture of it because I was cleaning off my shelf and I found the book, and I got it when I was younger, obviously. But then like I started reading it because my curiosity got the best of me.
Uh-huh.
And like as I was reading it, I legit was like, this dude is fucking insane. Like he is fucking crazy.
What was the book about from what you
It
read?
it was honestly just about his experiences and shit, which is really interesting to read about. But like as you go on, it kind of got crazier and crazier. It's like, what the fuck? And I was debating for a long time whether or not I wanted to make a video on my channel about it, and I still might, because like there's a lot of content there.
Yeah.
So, I don't hate Zach Bagans, but he is crazy. He's a
Yeah.
crazy motherfucker. How long have we been recording?
I don't know. I can't.
122. Okay, we can go for a little bit longer.
Okay.
I didn't want it to be too long because, I didn't want to have to edit it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll have to edit much from this one.
Probably not. Probably
Most
not.
of the time when I edit one of our podcasts, it's just the spots where, like, we don't say anything or it's, like, silence.
Mm.
I'll edit those out.
Yeah. No,
And sometimes we'll be like, like before we talk. I'll sometimes cut some of those
Yeah.
out to make us seem smarter, but,
We're trying to hide the fact that we're not so smart.
We're not.
Yeah, and you edit the podcast, and your work is very seamless. And what I mean by that is because I've listened back to our podcast, and like you can't tell that like that it's edited because it just sounds like it's just one like continuous take. Like you can't tell anything is like taken out. It's all very seamless.
Yeah, that's what I try to do, and especially most of the parts like I said, most of the parts I cut out are just silence or where we didn't say anything. Like episode 1, I didn't have to cut much out because we were just mainly just talking. For the Wind Waker episode,
Oh, I know.
we were playing a game at the same time, so a lot of our commentary was what was something that was happening on screen, and I definitely had to cut that out because it was like, okay, nobody's gonna enjoy this because they
Yeah.
can't see what we were doing. Sponsored by Aquafina. But yeah, so what was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, Cutter?
I mean,
Mwah.
you can talk. You can talk about anything when you think about it.
Let's see. What could we talk about?
Oh, okay. So you know that that saying where it's like
If you sprinkle when you tinkle, be neat and wipe the seed.
well that
Be
is
neat and wipe the seed.
that is another saying. Which honestly though that I think we talked about that recently because no we actually did because I was talking about how like if that happens and you don't like clean up after yourself, it's like you're basically what I'm trying to say is you're not a great person.
You suck as a human being.
And I don't remember if you actually had to or if it was a joke, but we were in my kitchen when I said that, and you were like, "Hold on," you went back to the bathroom.
Oh yeah. No, actually, that was real because I forgot if I did like sprinkle. But I remember when I was walking out, I was like, all right, I don't have to wipe the seat. It wasn't messy or anything.
Yeah.
When you said that, I was like, what if it was? Like, so I
Okay,
went back
yeah.
and I was like, all right, let me check just to be sure. Dude, at my cousin's pool house, they have a sign in the bathroom at their pool house. Have you been in their bathroom?
I have, yeah.
Did you see it? It was like a little thing of like the top of a toilet seat hung on the wall, and it had that saying on it.
I don't think I saw that.
But here's the thing: it said, "If you sprinkle when you tinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the seedy."
I like that one.
It didn't say "please be neat and wipe the seat." It said "please be a sweetie and wipe the seedy."
I like that one.
Like that's the most southern thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's always confused me because I was like, "What the fuck is a seedy?" I know it's just trying to be like cute or whatever, but
Yeah. What's your opinion on the southern accent?
I hate it. That's real too. Like out of all the accents I've heard in my life, the southern accent is the most. Well, to me, I have one sort of. Dude, when I was younger, I had the worst southern accent.
Was it bad?
It was bad. I need to find a clip.
Please do.
It was bad.
I can't imagine you with like a bad southern accent.
It was bad. It was all like this, and I was the most southern person you could ever hear.
Jesus Christ.
But I'm glad I sort of grew out of that. It comes out every now and then, but
yeah.
Whenever I hear like a really southern like accent, I'm like, that is so just not attractive at all.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what it is.
it's-
I mean,
And see, I don't really like it that much either. I mean, and you know, like apparently this is recent, a recent discovery to me. But apparently, some people that aren't from the South, they're like, man, the Southern accent is so charming and sweet, and I'm like, no, it's not.
Really?
Yeah, apparently,
I
I
guess
got told that recently that that's a thing, and I was like, really? And they were like, yeah, apparently.
I guess I could see in a way how it could be like. Oh, you got that sweet Southern tang. Oh man, you
You-
got that Southern accent. That's so sweet.
I'm telling you, you don't want a sweet Southern tang. I'm just letting you know.
No,
just,
you
just
do
from
not.
being
you
out
do
here.
not. Yeah, I guess it's because I've just been around it my whole life that it's just annoying now.
Yeah,
And I hate when sometimes I talk and it comes out. For me, I hate it because I'm like, oh man.
it's like recently it's come out a few times on my eyes. Recently, like I get like 9,
Oh,
like stuff.
oh,
like,
your eyes, yeah.
stuff like that. I don't. It recently it's happened a few times, and I don't know why, but but yeah, and because me and you don't have a very strong Southern accent,
No,
and
no.
I'm sure you've been told that before
Yeah,
by people,
yeah.
and because I know I have too.
And then you have some of our friends who are like, Mackenzie comes to mind for me. Like she has a pretty strong. I think it's gotten like it's not as bad as it was,
Mhm.
but like, she has that Southern accent. Like
She's got that Southern tang.
she got that Southern twang. Did I
Twang-
say tang?
Oh no, I think I said tang.
I think I said tang. I
Did
meant
you say
twang.
tang? Twang.
I meant
Okay.
twang.
Twang.
Got
Doesn't
that
make-
sweet Southern twang.
Yeah, Luke comes to my mind.
Oh, dude, yeah, Luke has that Southern twang.
But I love him though. He's a great guy.
Oh no! Like it's not. I said it was annoying, but it's like it's not annoying. It's just
And
I don't know how to explain it. It's just
I guess what does it for me is that the thing with Luke is that he has the Southern accent, but he's a great friend and I care about him. So
yeah,
so,
no, yeah.
So I honestly don't even really notice it when he talks, just because I'm so used to it.
I think that's what. Yeah, I think that's how it is for most of like all of my friends too. That have a Southern accent. It's like I'm just used to it, and I don't
Yeah.
even really notice it.
And I don't really understand like why we don't have too much of a Southern accent, because like
I think that's the thing too. I've never really had, well, besides when I was younger, but like through like middle school and high school, I never really had a strong Southern accent. So I never really, I don't know. I just didn't get that used to it. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't think our friends have a strong Southern. I mean like a strong Southern accent. Like
I don't think we have friends that have like a very strong Southern accent.
yeah, no. I mean like a biscuit making, sweet tea drinking like Southern accent. Like,
Yeah,
you know, I love biscuits and sweet tea,
I do too.
so I'm Southern all the way. But like, I just don't have the accent, I guess.
Yeah, because
And I'm not racist. So
Yeah.
that's another thing.
Yeah, no. If I'm being completely honest, there are a good bit of people down here that are
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that are
Oh, yeah.
racist
Oh,
and
yeah. That's
homophobic and sexist.
Very
like,
much so.
Which that's like probably like the thing I hate the most about being
Oh
down
yeah.
here.
Oh,
is just,
definitely. You could, if you were to drive through South Carolina, especially towards where we are, and you were to take a shot every time you saw a Confederate flag, you'd probably die before you got to Georgia or North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like
No, yeah,
especially down
it's-
at the beach.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. It's really bad. But yeah, I know people who participate in like there's these rallies that people have where they drive around holding a Confederate flag in the air and like
Oh, come on, man.
yeah, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But at this point, like if you're like racist or homophobic, at this point to me, it's just very childish.
Oh yeah.
Like just grow
yeah.
the fuck up and realize that we're all people.
Exactly. Yeah.
like,
We're all people.
Who the fuck cares if a guy likes another guy, or
Yeah, because for one thing,
especially like racism, like to not like somebody because they're like a different color. Like just color.
that's very like shallow
Yeah,
very
like-
very shallow and just surface level shit. Like that when you're trying to get to know a person, like it doesn't matter. You know? Um, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't see color because if you don't see color, then it's kind of like you don't really see the problem. Like
Okay, I see what you're saying.
yeah. So
Dude, I see color and I hate it.
I only see white.
The only colors I like are the colors of the Confederate flag.
Oh,
but yeah, it's no, I think you're right. It's just very like childish shit. And
yeah. At this point, it's very childish.
yeah, and it's because like it doesn't fucking matter. Like
It really
doesn't- it really doesn't fucking-
really doesn't.
it really doesn't fucking matter,
Like,
man. Like
for the people who are like adamant about like, oh, being gay is bad and black people are yucky.
like why does it matter
Like, why
to you?
it doesn't affect you?
Yeah,
Like, why
it
the fuck
doesn't-
are you?
It doesn't apply
And
to him
there's
at all.
so much of that in the South.
There's a lot of it in the South, and that's the thing I hate the most about living here.
Yeah. By far, that's the worst part.
I just realized I said black people are yucky.
Oh my god! Don't take that out of context, please.
Oh God. But yeah. Once you get past the racism, the homophobia and the sexism, South is a pretty nice place.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice scenery down here.
There is a lot of nice scenery. I was actually talking to Luke not that long ago, and he made a good point about South Carolina. Is that we have like oceans and forest and mountains.
Yeah, there's a lot to see.
There's
in
a
South
there's a
Carolina
there's a lot of
and North Carolina.
Oh yeah, there's like a lot of different landscapes. Just even in South Carolina, there's a lot of different type of landscapes.
Yeah, definitely.
So and there's a lot of beautiful scenery here. And there's a lot of things to do if you're not in a butt fuck middle of nowhere town like we are. But
True.
but yeah, I don't know.
Especially when you're in a small town.
Oh, if you're in a small town, all that shit's like
It
it's worse because there's less amount of people, and the probability of those people being that way is higher.
yeah, it's
There's a higher ratio.
yeah. So I very much see why some people may be like, ugh, the Carolinas, ew, like
Stinky.
Yeah.
Ew, gross.
Uh-oh, stinky.
oh. Do not, dude. I'm gonna lose my shit. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Oh.
Oh. Black people yucky.
Oh my god.
That's how whenever like I see like somebody being blatantly racist, that's how I hear it in my head.
No, yeah.
I don't know. It's so childish at this point. Like just grow up.
Yeah.
And it's mostly older people.
Yeah, I'm hoping that once all the boomers die off, we'll I'm hoping once all the boomers die off, we'll have society will head on a bit of a better track.
That sounds so bad, but it's so true.
I know it sounds.
mean-
I know it sounds bad, but I also know it's true. That's why.
It's
That's
so
why.
true.
That's why I don't feel bad saying it.
It's so true. Man, this has been some podcast. We went from talking about
We started with the water bottle. With how I drink water
Then
bottles.
we went to the cruise, and now we're at racism. And I think this is a good spot to end it, though.
Yeah, I think it's a fine spot to.
If you
Good spot to
enjoyed,
end.
give this video. Hold on.
I'm holding on.
Hold on.
I'm holding the fuck on, dude.
Smash that motherfucking like button! Smash that fucking shit right now, you piece of fucking shit! Whoa! If you hate racism, smack that like button! If you don't press like, you're racist! Fuck you! If you don't share this video on Facebook, you're homophobic! If you don't leave a comment, you don't live in the South!
Or no, you do live in the South.
I don't know.
Whatever. I don't care.
I don't really care about.
But smash that motherfucking like button! Oh! pick that like button up and body slam that shit on a fucking bed of knives. Ah!
Ooh, harder, Daddy.
Sorry, God, I have a headache.
Yeah, I don't think you heard what I said.
What'd you say?
You said something about smashing the like button and throw it on a bed of knives, and I was like, oh, harder, Daddy.
Share this video to your friends on Facebook.
Well, Facebook's pretty racist.
Exactly.
All right, seriously, if you like the video, give us a like, leave a comment. What did you think about our lovely podcast here?
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about us as human beings? Do you hate us?
Do you hate us? Do you love us? Do you fucking despise us to the point to where you can't stand us to listen to our voices?
If you do, I would honestly be very interested in to see you explain why. I would like no joke. I would if you like really don't like us, please explain why. I'm very interested.
We can improve on our craft.
Yeah, I just want to get someone's opinion.
Also, going forward, like we said earlier, we are both very soon going off to college. So, going forward with the channel, podcast-wise, you had the idea of like doing like online, like over like Discord or something. Like,
Yeah, we could do a podcast over Discord or something.
Yeah,
And I would have to like buy one of these because you own the 2 mics we use. I'd have to buy one off Amazon because I don't want to like take one because they're yours.
Oh yeah. But yeah, and like with gaming videos, we could easily like meet up sometime and just do that whenever.
Oh yeah.
So we plan to keep the channel going.
Yeah.
It might not be consistent. Well, it's not consistent now, thanks to me. But we plan to keep the channel going.
We cheat pan just going.
Smash the like button. Fuck!
All right, bye everyone. That was legit a perfect way to end it.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.